Good afternoon, everyone. So, if you're new to my page, again, I'm Kylie Kumalai and KylieKumalai.com right there. If you want to learn more about what life empowerment coaching is, I have what I call the Aloha Unveiled Transformation formula, and that's finding out about what makes you tick, what you love, and using those to fuel your life. Anyhow, here's to the content. Okay, how many of you heard about what happened today in New York City? So how I heard about it was through my brother. So my brother lives in California. He's from Hawaii, but he lives in California for his job. So he lives in California, and he evacuated from California to go to New York City for his job, and he works out of his New York City office. I found out about the bombings. He sent a text message. We have like a family group text messaging with my mom and my stepdad and my brother and my sister and me. So he sent a family text message this morning. He's like, "Hi, period, I'm safe, period." And I was confused. I saw he sent us pictures. He was at Rockefeller Center, the ice skating rink, that famous Christmas tree thing. If you don't know by now, I am like the biggest Christmassy person, like, because my birthday is coming up, and so December is a really, really wonderful time of the year for me. And so I was like, oh my gosh, bucket list item. I told him that yesterday. I was like, oh, bucket list item. And then he sent me, "Hi, I'm safe." And I got confused because I'm like, I thought he was saying that he was safe from the fire. Maybe I got, when you get text messages that show up like way too late. And I said, "What are you safe from?" And he said he was safe from the bombing that just happened in the metro that he normally takes, right? So he said he missed the train or the metro, whatever you want to call it. We don't have those things in Hawaii, but he missed the subway train that he normally catches because he slept in, or he overslept, by mistake. He was supposed to be on that train or be in the vicinity of the bombing at that time. So how crazy is that, right? And I had already planned to talk about bucket list today, but those two go hand in hand, right? Because when you come to like a near-death experience, what happens, right? Your life flashes before your eyes. And I just watched this awesome video about, this guy who was dying from cancer, tried some holistic treatments, and, they got married in 11 days. But when you're on your deathbed, right, what do you think about? You think about all the things that you should have done, should be doing, whatever. You get, this, okay, you have only X amount of time to live. Your whole perspective on life changes. So back to the whole bucket list thing and why you need to make one. So, right, you don't want to get to the end of your life, or let's say you're young and you get diagnosed with cancer, or God forbid something happens to you. Like my daughter is 16. She has a cousin that lives on another island. They're going to her funeral. He's only 27. He got into a car accident and the car exploded, and they couldn't find his body. The forensics took like almost a week to sort out all the pieces from that. So you just never know when your life is going to end. So you don't want to get to that point and have regrets. Am I right? Give me some double taps if you agree that you don't want to get to the end of your life and let's do this. You don't want to get to the end of your life and it's done, right? So why you need to make a bucket list is not only so that you don't miss out on doing the things that you want and live a whole life of regret. Like a lot of times we put things on our bucket list that seem unattainable, right? Right. One of my bucket list items was to ice skate at the Rockefeller Center with the big tree and do all of that. My brother was able to do that yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'm so Jay, But what it reminded me was like, he's my brother. He's from my bloodline. He's from Hawaii. He's doing really big things in the world with his company, and that means it's possible for me too. So the whole purpose of why I want you to make a bucket list is list all those crazy goals that you have in your life, and like say you want to climb Mount Everest. I have a friend who's a mountain climber. You can go follow her. My friend Sophie, she's a mountain climber. You know, if your goal is to climb Mount Everest, and then go do it. Her goal is to climb 7 mountains in her lifetime, I think, if I remember correctly. But, you know, so the important thing about making a list is, right, your brain sees it as a goal, right? It's kind of floating around up here, like, I wish I could do something about it. And when you put it down on paper, it solidifies it. So your brain sees it, like, oh, it's on a list. It's a goal. And that's like starts the whole manifestation process. I don't really believe in manifestation. I believe more in faith and God. But, for layman's terms and purposes, just realizing things that don't exist, that come to fruition. So, you list those things on your bucket list, right? And so let's say I'm like, yeah, why don't, I can, my brain, so right now I'm thinking about the Rockefeller Center ice skating with the Christmas tree thing, right? So right now my brain is like, and I'm actually considering like, oh, maybe next year my husband and I can plan a trip to go to New York and take the kids or whatever, maybe we'll have our own Home Alone experience in Central Park. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? Now my brain sees it as possible. Until I saw my brother's picture that he was actually there, it didn't seem that it was possible for me. But now my brain's starting to conceive ideas of how I can make it happen, right? So let's say you have a list of things, right? Say you just list 5 things. You know, not too fancy, a list of 5 things. Another one of my things is going to Japan and seeing the Cherry Blossom Festival thing, because traveling is one of the things that I like to do, and I want to do. I want to see all the different things in the world that I only have seen on TV, right? Living on an island, you don't really get to go anywhere unless you fly. So, there's so many places that I want to travel. But I have, like Las Vegas, when I was younger, Las Vegas was one of my things. And, my family, they're a big craps playing family, and I never knew how to play craps. And so my husband knows how. He taught me how on the last trip that we went to. And, I wasn't really ready to. But, I was just kind of like, okay, I ended up playing on the crap table. Sorry, I got a text message. I got totally flustered. Sorry. I got on the crap table and I was like, yay, I did something that I've always wanted to do. And then what happens when you actually start crossing things off of your bucket list? It makes all those impossible goals seem possible, right? You start ticking off stuff off your list and your brain's like, oh, I did that. That means this thing that you probably wrote on your list that seemed super impossible before, your brain is starting to realize that these things are possible. So, again, recap, you need to start making a bucket list. I mean, you may not be kicking the bucket anytime soon, Godspeed, let's everybody be healthy and whole, but, just start thinking of these crazy goals that you've always wanted to do, get them out of your head and onto paper, and then, right, your brain will start planning in the background. Your brain works like RAM, it works in the background. It works in the background, and you want to, your brain will start conceiving that this is possible, these things can happen, and once you start crossing them off, it's like, phew, phew, phew. I want you to see how fast things can actually take off for you. Like, I didn't think I would have a business. I didn't think I would have a website and be able to make my own website and you know, do social media and have all of these things that I have today. And, you know, I'm just forever grateful that I have people that I work with, I work alongside, and push me to get better and better and better at things. So, that being said, I need to hop off. It's after school time and I need to pick up the kids. So, I love you all. And if you have any comments, if you're watching the replay, you know, I love to hear what are some of your bucket list items. So, yeah, why don't you drop those below, and I love to talk to you soon. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.